This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go. Can't choose on. 65, 65, 65.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. 23 yards, the final tally.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it with Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
54, Mike. Cover.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
319. 54. Mike, 54. Here we go. 630. Mike, 54.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
2nd and 1. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. There he goes left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
13 yards there and a Niner first. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Preston Smith there on the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. That's going to be caught by Samuel.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st down, 49ers.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Open man is Samuel, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Dean Lowry able to get in there and drop him behind the line. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Check 15. Check 80 weapon.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
Throwing now is Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
319. 52 for Mike. Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rodgers on target here to Allison. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. It's out of time. Smooth. It's out of time. Hey, watch out.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is Simpson with a catch. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They'll set up a throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Shrink that ball. No, check that.
Rodgers operating from the gun. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Now a first down carry by Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 41, Rodgers. And he rifles one incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second down, Johnson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Escaping, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2-for-1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
5. Check 52.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rodgers now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. And a throw right sideline is complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. 26. 56.
Hey, high 7.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The throw over the middle taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
At the 42-yard line.
58! 54! Check, 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 check!
On first down, Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Jones. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the slip, watch the slip!
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw here's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Simpson reels it in over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Second down and goal. Rodgers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. He'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go. Show it up. Go Team Smith.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And able to work his way down to the 16. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers 16.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trent Taylor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here we go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
He's not going to get me. Play 56.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Rodgers now throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Get 300. Get 300.
Rodgers operating from the gun, and that will be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Kill. Check 43.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. They'll look to throw here. Completes it to Samuel. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
It's a gain of 20.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play.
That's it, baby.
The score,
We got one.
Niners 31, Packers 16.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Get this work.
Here's Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 40. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
80 weapon. Kill. Just see it.
On first down. He'll drop to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. They find some open field here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. He finds an open man, Simpson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. And Gold is able to put it through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers to throw once more. Throwing right, and that's complete.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Got it? 44, Mike, 44. I got him. Let's go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11. At the Packers' 48-yard line.
44 to Mike. I got one.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.